And when we come to know about the asset classes where your allocation should be, we've always heard a lot about diversification. You took the name of certain assets as well. For achieving a financially free future, what is essential that one should not miss out on? We see too many extremes happening. Pranjal, you would have noticed that in your own conversations. Our previous generation was big on FDs, RDs, maybe a PPF as at the most risky asset class that they would have probably thought about. Our current generation is now talking more about mutual funds, SIPs, cryptos like you talked about as well. But what is a balanced way, and how should one really not miss out on one aspect and yet ensure that you are getting the best of all worlds?
Firstly, I really respect the kind of questions that Business Today TV and you are asking. I create content on this, and yet I've never had this good a flow of questions. So it's bringing out probably decent answers from me. Okay, so let's start because again, chronology is really important in financial planning. So the first step for everyone has to be a term plan. So I often tell that, when you
Yes.
get your first salary, it should have three shares, one probably temple or God, one to your mother, and the third to the term plan. That's the best use of your first salary. And there are reasons
Okay.
to it. Term plan is one contract that stays valid for life, and its premium is fixed in the beginning. So, someone who's 25 is taking a term plan that would last till 75 for 50 years. That person will pay the same premium. It will never
Yes.
increase. And the premium is lesser the earlier you buy it. So, which is why your first financial instrument
Investment.
should be a term plan. And
Perfect.
only a term plan, no money back, no fancy schemes. That's where, you get a worse deal. So a pure term plan only for the members of the family who actually earn and who has or will have dependents in the future.
Sure.
That's step one. Once that is done, comes, and roughly the cost for a term plan for a 1 crore term plan will be 1,000 rupees a month. So it's really affordable. Next comes your health insurance. The second, a difference between term and health is for health insurance, you include every member of your family, either by individual plans for them or a combined family floater plan, whichever makes more economic sense, because everyone can fall ill, anyone can fall ill. So, health insurance is for everyone. Roughly, again, a good 10, 15, 20 lakh family plan should cost you 1,000 rupees a month for your 3, 4 member family. So, your insurance needs are done in 2,000 rupees a month. And why is health insurance important? Because, you might invest in mutual funds for 5 years.
Yeah.
Everything that I'll tell later, you might do it. And one, God forbidden accident happens, a hospitalization happens, and all your savings will actually go to the hospital. So you will be back 5 years due to an unforeseen hospitalization. So any unforeseen risk that you can
You have to
transfer to the
eliminate that.
insurance company from a small premium, please do that. Step number three, and this is where most people skip because they find it boring, is actually having an emergency fund. So at least 6 months of your household expenses. So if you earn 1 lakh rupees, I'm assuming expenses will be 50 to 70,000, somewhere in that range. So in that case, you need a 3 to 4 lakh emergency fund, either in a FD, which you can withdraw, a flexible FD, or maybe a liquid fund that you can withdraw the same day or other day.
Okay.
This will again protect you from a job loss, business crisis, or some unforeseen expenses. So that's the third step. The
Sure.
fourth step is, and this is the most compromised goal, is actually retirement planning for your old age. When even if you want to, maybe your health or circumstances will not allow you to earn. What happens is at in your 20s, 30s, retirement looks far,
Yeah.
and we often end up withdrawing corpus from our retirement fund to meet short-term, medium-term goals. And why does this happen? Because we often plan our retirement via instruments from which we can withdraw money. So if you're going to plan for your retirement via mutual funds, via stocks, via 1 year, 2 year, 5 year FD, you will end up withdrawing and using that money for mid-term, short-term goals. So the best way to plan for retirement is actually national pension scheme. A lot of people don't like that scheme because the withdrawal terms are really, really rigid. It's a very illiquid investment. But that's the greatest part of it. Even if you want to, most of the corpus you cannot withdraw before 55. And through that instrument only, you will actually end up saving for your retirement. Because after retirement, few reports state that more than 85% Indians regret that they did not save enough for their retirement. So you don't want that regret. And NPS might save you from that. So that's
Okay.
step 4. Now, once all of this is done, is when you start with slightly fancier instruments for your goals. So for goals which are fixed, important, so goals like, maybe buying a house, children's education, marriage, these goals are important. There will be a time when these goals will be, in the short term, eminent. You have to pay. Maybe you can push marriage around for 2 years, but these goals are more or less fixed. And because these goals are non-negotiable, the best way to invest is mutual funds. These goals, but for goals that are more than 8-10 years away, because
Yeah.
a securities market, equity market can be volatile in the medium term. So goals
Absolutely.
that are more than 10 years away, mutual funds are great. And with mutual funds also, the better hack is that if you have 4 goals, maybe have one SIP for each of your goals. That
That's a
brings you
brilliant hack.
clarity. That I need 20 lakhs for this in my fund A. Am I going the right path? Are my investments enough? What is the corpus now? So it makes financial planning easier if you have
Yeah.
one mutual fund for each goal. Now, once that is done, most of the things are sorted. Last 2 things remain. One, wealth creation. So you still have some surplus money coming in. Maybe,
Yeah.
your family sold some joint land, you got some surplus, some bonus, things like that. There are 2 great investment options for that. One, you can park a certain amount in gold ETFs. It hedges you against the volatility of equity. It hedges you against country risk. India's particular stock markets not doing well. Gold prices are decided globally, so it hedges you. So gold is great for wealth creation. Returns might be slightly lower than equities, but it'll hedge you. And the second is, goals that are more aspirational in nature and not compulsory, more optional goals. So, for example, a European holiday, a big US holiday, probably buying
Yeah.
your second or third car. That is where maybe direct stocks are a great option, because if you end up investing badly, maybe you'll not go to Netherlands, you'll go to Nainital instead. But it doesn't change your life per se. So only
Yeah.
that goal, only those goals on which you can compromise on. And even if those goals are not fulfilled, your life will not change materially. Should you invest in direct stocks?
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.